Okay, so this is working. Quality is good. Okay, so this is working. And quality is good on Twitch as well. Quality is good. Okay, so this is working. And quality is good on Twitch as well. Quality is good. Okay, so this is working. And quality is good on Twitch as well. Quality is good. Okay, so this is working. And quality is good on Twitch as well. Quality is good. Okay, so this is working. And quality is good on Twitch as well. Quality is good. Okay, so this is working.
For some
And
reason,
quality is good. Twitch is in some kind of a loop.
for some
And
reason,
quality is good. Twitch is in some kind of a loop. But now it seems out of it.
Oh,
And
okay, I get it. I
quality
get
is
it.
good. Okay, I get why. Because I'm playing the computer sound as well. All right. So, first of all, welcome to the stream. And today I am mixing it up a bit I think in an interesting way. But first, before we do that, let's tweet this out on Twitter real quick. So Python and Golang. Okay, so Python and Golang live streaming on Twitch. Come check it out here, and let's link to the Twitch channel. All right. And let's add live here. Okay, so now people know. And today, I want to tell you, a short kind of story about how I decided to mix things up a bit today. And I think people who watched me and who watched my stream would enjoy it. So I was watching some Twitch stream today by some dude that's currently learning how to program and how to code. And he basically did these exercises from the University of Helsinki. And he did with Java. And I actually, I liked him so much and liked his path so much that I even jumped on the stream and helped out. But what I saw is something that I see a lot with more junior engineers and definitely with people who are learning to code, is that the way they approach problems is not in smaller chunks. And when you don't approach the problems in smaller chunks, then what you tend to do is you tend to overthink things, and you also tend to overcomplicate things. And I thought it's going to be fun to go through those exercises and do them with like Python or Golang. rather than Java, but do them in a way that is in smaller chunks, and also do them in a way that is test-driven development. And I, and if you watched my streams for more than a minute or two, I'm a huge believer in test-driven development. And you also know that I think that test-driven development is a great way to reduce problems to consumable chunks. So that's what I thought. I thought, today we're going to take a break from my open source stuff, which is more advanced, and not a lot of people can connect with it. And then we can jump into it. So one thing that I want to do a bit of a housekeeping here. So what and I think I'm talking to one person right now because only one person is watching the stream. So Kraken W, how are you? And I changed the stream structure a bit, in a way that there is the camera here, and then there's a camera here which shows my keyboard, and it's not showing the chat in real time. But what I do is I will basically fade away to this large chat screen, and then if someone has a question, I can answer those questions, and help out that way. And I have this for Twitch, and I have this for Live Edu. And I think that this way more people can enjoy the stream while I don't miss out on people that kind of want to know about the stream info. So if you go to ivi.io/stream, then you will get to a page here which shows the live streaming info. And one new thing that we have here is we have Discord. And Discord is, just a great way to communicate with me, whether it's off the stream or on the stream. So I thought, we'll kind of try those things out. All right. So let me just grab something real quick, and I'll be back to streaming in 2 minutes. Okay, so I am back on the stream. Sorry about that. Something was loud. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll just kind of start. All right. So let's kind of start. So one of the okay. All right. So I think we'll just get started. And I think so. Here's the deal. What would you prefer? Would you prefer to do it with Python, or would you prefer to do it with Golang? So the original course here is in Java, and I don't want to do it with Java. So all right, so here so I don't want to do it with Java. I want to do it with sorry, let me just grab the camera, make it a bit better on the angle. Okay. So the question is, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to see it with Java, with Golang or with Python? We're basically going to go through a very basic kind of programming tutorial, but rather than just doing that, I will see how I take it and I rip it apart into consumable parts, and um, and then use test-driven development in order to make the code better and make sure it's working across all of its parts. All right, so what would you prefer? Would you prefer Python or would you prefer Java? Python or Golang. Ah, man, I'm so tired. um, all right, Python. Python it is then. So let's go ahead and do this with Python. So we'll go cd code and we'll make a dir called open source, and we'll make go into open source. And we already have open source, obviously. And then we'll make Helsinki.course. All right, and let's do a git init here. So again, you will see the reason that I chose Python is that Kraken W here, and you can see the live edu chat said Python, and right now he's the only one who participates. So he got it first, basically. All right, cool. So let's go here, and we're gonna open up that, and then. But by the way, Kraken, let me know what you think about the new format of the stream. If you can hear the audio fine, if you can see the screen fading away, and so on and so forth. And by the way, Stevens is not here today, so if you want to join the stream, you can join as well. All right, cool. So this basic exercise. So let's see. There's suitcase here. All right. So this is the exercise. Exercise 4: thing, suitcase, and container. So this basically goes through. And every time you kind of add one more thing. All right. So let's start. All right. So we'll create a class thing whose object can represent different kind of things. The information to store are thing name and weight in kilograms. So add the following method to your class: a constructor which is given the thing name and weight as parameter. We'll have a string which is get name, and we'll have an integer which is get weight, and which returns the weight, and we'll have a string which returns the name and then the weight in kilograms. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and do that. But before we do that, we'll kind of make a directory here. Here, and make dir -p. We'll create 4.1. All right, so let's do that. And let me put this aside here. Oops, sorry. All right, so let me put my Safari aside here. All right, so cool. So we will have a thing. So we'll have a file called thing.rb, and we'll have a class here, and the class will be a thing, and the initialize will have a name and a weight, right? Oh, this is oh, I started to write Ruby. Sorry. So this is Python. So thing.py, and then we'll have a class here which we'll call thing. And then this class will be this, and then the init will be name and weight. All right. And then we don't really need all of these. So this is a pretty simple class. And so this is this this thing. So we have a name and a weight, and the name and the weight is variables, and then we need to add a get name and a get weight. So let's add those. So def, and then this is going to be get name, which is going to just be this, and this will return self.name, and then it will have the same here, but instead of name this will be weight, right? All right, cool. So we have a name and then a weight, and then we have a public string here. So we'll have def to string, which will return the name and then the weight. So get name and get weight. And of course I need this here and not here. Okay. So we have a get name and a get weight, right? Awesome. So let's go and start a Tmax session here. And we'll do like open a Python. Oh, why Python 2.7? And then we'll have from thing import thing, and then t equals thing, and then how you switch windows fast like that. Started using Mac. So Cubeness here on Twitch, let me show the Twitch chat here, is asking how you switch windows fast like that. Started using Mac. So what do you mean? You mean like switching this? So when I switch between like the terminal and Chrome, like this. So some name, and then the weight will be 10 kilograms. And t dot get name and t dot get weight, and returns 10. Cool. So now we have our thing here. which is looking good, right? And what I want to do is try and show you kind of how so in order to cubeness here, so in order to switch between windows, and again, this is like basic Mac, but it's Command Tab. So Command Tab basically switches between the windows, and as you can see, I can scroll between all the windows and switch. All right, so Kraken W on Live EDU is saying I can program without IntelliSense, so I'm the other way around. I really it's just slowing me down. There is, to me, there is no way I can do IntelliSense. All right, so what I want to do here is write a test. And it's really been a while since I've done that. So let me see. Okay, so let's start thing test.py, and we're gonna import unit test here. And then class test thing, which is going to be unit test case here, and then we're gonna have def test get name, and this does not really need an argument here, and then we're gonna do from thing import thing, and then t equals thing and some name, and some weight is going to be 10, and then we're going to do self dot assert equal, and this is going to be some name equals to t dot get name. So let's see. And we'll do python-m unit test. And how do I run a specific one? Pattern. All right, so pattern dash p test.py. What's going on? Dash p not recognized. Python unit test. So what am I missing? Oh, I think what I need is to mv thing test to test test thing dot py, and I think this will run the unit test, or it won't. So let's see why. Oh, damn, I know why. So we need to run the unit test here. Right, so now run this, and I still don't see any tests running, and this is because I'm in the wrong file. So do this, and still no tests. What am I missing? Why is it not doing anything? So Python unit test -h. Let's see what we have here. So directory is default to here. Module. So let's do test thing. No module name test thing. All right. What am I missing here with the running of the test? All right, so one test now. So let's do this. So test get name. So discover worked, and it's running our test. And just to show you that it is running the test, I'll do this, and now the tests are failing, which is what we want. And we'll do this, and everything is working great. Awesome. So now what I can remove is the thing underscore test, and then run the test again, and still one test is passing. Cool. So we have the get name, and here we'll have, instead of the name, we'll have the weight. And the weight is obviously not some weight, it's 10. And discover, and test get weight. Okay. So am I still in the wrong file? Yes, damn it. Okay. So again, and then remove this unit test, and now both of these are working, and I'm gonna remove thing test. Okay. Cool. So now our tests are working, and we have the weight, and we have the name, and now that we have a setup of things here, then everything is great. Cool. So we have this, and now what I want is to test the string. So I'm gonna do this, and instead of weight, then I'm gonna have test get string, or actually test toString, and this is this, and assert equal that some string 10 equals to 2 get string, or is it toString? It's toString. All right, so Python unit test, and man, did I do it again? Can't believe I did it again. I'm so stupid. Okay, so now 3 tests, and one of our tests is failing. So get name, t.getName is undefined. So let's go here to thing and get name. Get name is clearly defined. So toString. So this should be self.getName, and this should be self.getWeight. And now 3 tests are passing. Cool. So as you can see, you know, these kind of problems is like the perfect example to things you will find out when you do test-driven development. So I'll go back to here, and I found out that I didn't have the self, and now when I run the test, everything is working nice. Okay, so now we have a 4.2 is class suitcase. So create a class suitcase, and suitcase has things and a maximum weight limit, which defines the greatest total allowed weight of the things contained within the suitcase object. So constructor, which gives a maximum weight limit, and then we have an add thing, which accepts a thing, and adds a thing to the parameters, and then a toString, which kind of show you X things and then Y kilograms. By the way, if anyone here doesn't understand the questions or wants clarification or wants to participate, this is exactly what this stream is about. So, people here on Twitch, if you have a question, this is the time. And also people here on Live EDU, if you have a question, this is the time. So again, feel free, because this is why I'm doing why I'm doing this. All right, so we're gonna have a suitcase, and a suitcase is gonna have a list of things, right? And we have an add thing, and we only need to add that thing. But you know what? Let's so let's take this one step at a time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a suitcase. And this is going to be Python. So here, this is going to be a class suitcase. And here, and then this one. And suitcase is going to have a max weight, right? So just to have those classes side by side. And then we're going to have this. So self dot max weight is max weight. And this is our suitcase. And then this suitcase is going to have self dot, add thing. And then it's going to have a thing. And all it's going to do here is first let's have self dot things equals to an empty array or an empty list, so to speak Pythonic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do self dot things dot, what is Python for? Is it push? So thing. Let's see if it's Python. So Python and things equal to a list, and then things dot push, I don't know, 1. No push, so append things. All right, so it's append. So append. All right, so then things dot append. And what else do we need? We need to make sure that our overall weight is also tracked, right? So let's have this here. So self dot max weight and self dot overall weight, or I don't know, total weight. So we'll track this as 0 here. And then every time we add a thing, we're going to have self dot total weight plus equals to thing dot get weight. All right. So now we're getting somewhere, and what I want is to first get out of here, and what we will add is we will add test suitcase dot py, and let's do this and test thing. So let's grab this. So thing is suitcase. So now we have a test suitcase. Whoops, that's not what I want. This is the suitcase, and test suitcase pi, and do this. All right. If I'm going too fast or something is not clear, please let me know. All right. So this one is here, and we're gonna replace thing with suitcase. And now we have test suitcase, and we can remove everything from here. Cool. So if we run discover now, accepted. All right. What's going on? Okay, so now here, let's add our first test. And our test will check test add thing, right? And what we'll do is we'll have a thing from thing import thing, and from suitcase import suitcase, and T is thing, and S equals to suitcase, and the maximum weight for now is going to be 100. And then we're going to S dot add thing, and we're going to add T to suitcase. And what we want to see is that self dot, what do we have here? So add thing, so suitcase, add thing, and then why do we print the suitcase? Oh, we print the suitcase because it's the string. So let's do a def to string here, and this is going to have here, it's going to return this. So again, the same kind of thing where we format len of this dot things, and then total total weight is self dot total weight. So now in our test here, we can assert that 1 and 10 is s dot to string. All right, so let's run the test, and we have no module name suitcase. So let's see why. So test suitcase. Suitcase. Yep, this is this. All right, so unit test, and we have no module name suitcase. Suitcase. So what am I missing here? So from suitcase, import suitcase, test suitcase. Where is it? So test suitcase line 3 here. So suitcase is here. And this is here. So everything here should... Oh, okay, I see. So this one... So suitcase has a init, has a self, and has a max weight. All right, so let's do this. So let's do Python and import. So from suitcase, import suitcase. No module name suitcase. So something here is wrong. So this looks good. Thing.getWeight. Class. What? Everything here looks good. So we have okay. Now we're talking. All right, so discover. And it's still saying no module name. So from suitcase, import suitcase. And unit test. Test unit test suitcase. So get module from name. Yeah, Python is not really loading it. Test thing. All right. So unit test. So still, it's not giving me the suitcase. So let's see what I have here. So I have suitcase, test thing, and thing test. Oh, rm-f thing test. Okay. All right, so suitcase. Let's do this here for a sec. So still it's saying that oh, damn it. MV suitcase to suitcase. All right, so then we can add that back. And this is embarrassing. And now it's good. Global name suitcase is not defined. So now suitcase.py is here. And where are we? Suitcase. And then test suitcase here. So this is, so basically I misspelled suitcase everywhere. So now add thing. So let's go to suitcase dot py, and here we have this and suitcase dot py. Awesome. So this is not JavaScript, so this is self in Python. And now what do we have? Oh, so this should not have the comma and our test pass. Okay, so now we have the suitcase, which adds a thing. Oh, it should have the kg. So let's add that. So we'll add that to the test as well. So here, kg. Okay, so they want it like that. So kg here, and now our test will fail, and then we fix our test, and then this is fixed. And I guess we need to do that in the suitcase as well. So in the thing, so we need to do this here, and then we also need to test thing and do that here. And this is, of course, k. So now 4 tests are passing. All right, so now this is cool. And let's go here, language check, 0 things or 1 things is not really proper English. It would be a better way to say empty or 1 thing. Implement this change in the class suitcase. All right, so if it's not, then we say empty. Else we say 1 thing or 2 things. All right, so let's implement that change. All right. So let's go, and you know what? I'm gonna split the screen like this between test and code. So suitcase is gonna be up here, and suitcase test is gonna be what happened? So wait a second. So test suitcase is up here, and suitcase is down here. All right, cool. Cool. So now in suitcase, what we want to do is if there are 0 things, we want to return empty, right? So let's test that. So, and this is how I drive. So acidic mushrooms. I think this is the first time I pronounced this this username correctly. So what I'm doing, and I will explain this specifically for you. What I'm doing today is I watched a guy learn to code today, and he did this like Helsinki University course. So I thought it's gonna be really fun to go through those exercises. 1, do it with Python, and 2, do it with test-driven development. And the whole idea is to show how through test-driven development I go through and I solve that problem without like jumping. Oh, you were in the stream too. Cool. So I think I don't know. Have you heard me on the stream, by the way? I jumped on the stream and I tried to help him. I don't know if you heard me or not. But basically what I thought is I thought it's going to be really, really fun to, do that with Python and do that with with test-driven development. So what do you think about that? Yep. So definitely definitely good. By the way, if you I'm alone today. Stevens is not here. So if you want to jump on the stream through Discord, then let me know. All right, cool. So now we have this new constraint that says if it's empty, then you need to say empty. And if it's one thing, then you need to say thing. And if it's two things, then you need to say like things. All right. So what will happen with a new engineer is that what they will do is they will say, wait a second, if it's one or if it's zero or if it's, you know what I mean? It's insane. And so first things first, now I'm going to change my test to say one thing. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add another to say add things. And then what this is going to do is add two things. And this is going to be two things. And the weight is going to be 20 kilograms. And then this will basically be test add things or test empty suitcase. So then we don't need a thing, we only need the suitcase. And then when we say this, then it should say empty and 0 kilograms. Right? So what I'm doing right now is I'm test driving my change to this class. So when I run the test, obviously they fail, and they should fail. But what I should see now is that we have 3 failures here. And what we should see is that once I go and I fix those problems, then each test will kind of pass. So one more test is going to pass, and then one more test is going to pass, and so on and so forth. All right, so now if we go here, and I will try to solve that with the least amount of complexity possible. So as you imagine, just an if or whatever. So what we say is this. So two things. So if len of self dot things, and then what I can do, because I have len of self strings multiple times, then what I'll do is I will refactor that out here and say total things equals to len of self.things. And then here I can use total things, and then here I can use total things as well. And then if total things is equals to 0, then what I'm going to return is empty and 0 kilograms, right? So then if I do another thing, so I'll say here, so now what I'll say is I will add a method called def get things word, and it will accept a list of things, or actually a count, so thing count. And what this will do is it will return things here, and then if thing count equals to 1, then I'm going to return thing. Okay, so this is this, and then, or actually, by the way, so if things count equals to 0, then I can return empty. And then here I don't really need this. And then word is get, so self dot get things word with total things. And then what this is, total things. So this is not total things. This is going to be word and self dot total weight. So now run the test. And what happened? Things count. So this is things count. So this. And now what happened? Thing count. All right, so I mixed a few things here. So this is things count. And what's going on now? Two things, 20 kilograms is different than things. What's going on? Okay, got it. So this is actually now this. So then this is total things. All right, so total things. So this is empty. All right, so now I know why I did that. So then this is now, let's return to this. And then this should be one thing. And then this should be this dot format total things. Okay, so total things is not defined, which is here. So this is things count. And now our test pass. Okay, so first, and I know it's kind of fast, but you know I think you get the drift here. What you saw is I asserted a few things here in my test-driven development, and then what I could do, because I have test, I could refactor the word here to say what's the word, and this is not really words, but you know whatever. And then I concat the words and then the total kilograms. So I already have the one thing, two things, and empty with 0 kilograms. Everything is Python, and everything is driven by tests. All right, so now add the following method to suitcase. Print things, which prints out all the things inside the suitcase, and total weight, which returns the total weight of the things in your suitcase. All right, so this is jarhead code. You know, nothing here is really, you know, hard. So I'm not even going to focus on that. So def total weight. And this is going to be this. And all this does is return self dot total weight. Really nothing, nothing we should stop on. All right, so this is total weight, and then print things, I don't care. All right, the heaviest thing. So now add the method heaviest thing to your class suitcase, which returns the thing which weighs the most. If there are more than one thing with the same weight, the method can return either one. The method has to return an object reference. If the suitcase is empty, the method returns null. All right, so let's do heaviest thing. And nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a test for that. All right, so let's add a test. So this is going to be def test add test heaviest thing, right? And then this is going to be a suitcase. All right, and then the suitcase one is going to be 20, and then here, and then one is going to be 30. So let's have that as T1 and add T1, and then this one is going to be T2. And then we're going to add T2. All right, and what we're going to say that assert dot equal that T2 equals to S dot heaviest thing. Right? So now what we're going to do here in test, so heaviest thing, we are going to return null. Or what is null in, is it nil? It's none, right? Okay. Right, so Python unit test discover, and now assert thing.thing instance and got none. Cool. So now here's the deal. So we can solve it in one of either ways. Okay. And first I wanna go to Twitch here and thank Acidic Mushrooms for that none, because yeah, it's none. And as you know, I am switching languages left and right, so sometimes it's kind of hard to find myself. All right, so here's the deal, right? So you can solve it in one of either ways. One, you can loop. So looping basically says is I have a list of I have a bunch of things on the table. And then I'm picking up one and I'm saying, is this the heaviest one? No, because I had another one. So is this the heaviest one? Is this the heaviest one? Is this the heaviest one? And then basically as I go through all of my things, only then I can know whether I have the heaviest one or not. So that's definitely one thing. That's one way to do it. So what we can do is you can say for like this thing in things, and then you'll save a reference for like heaviest thing is none, something like that, and then you say that if heaviest thing and heaviest thing dot get weight is smaller than thing dot get weight, then the heaviest thing is thing. And what you do here is you return, and not here, of course, you return the heaviest thing. All right, so this is what you will see in, so things, and this is, oh man, self dot things. A third thing. Okay. So thing in self dot things. So self dot things, and then if heaviest thing. Or, so this is or. Right, non-type get weight. Okay, so here, because heaviest thing is none at first, so if heaviest thing, which is a thing, all right, so then okay, this is why I don't like loops, but here let's do it this way. So for things in self.things, if the heaviest thing which we do here, which first time is none, and we still need to solve that, get weight is smaller than the thing that get weight, then the heaviest thing is now the new thing. Right. And um, yeah. So I know I gotta handle the first iteration. What I'm thinking is an acidic mushrooms, as you can see, said you gotta handle the first iteration. So what I'm trying to get at is that I would never write this code ever, and this is why I'm having trouble, even explaining how it should work. But I'm trying to kind of go through first, do the loop, and then do another thing. So for things in self.things, and then what we can do here is if not heaviest thing, then heaviest thing equals to thing and continue. All right, and now the test pass. Okay, so what I've done here is, and basically test heaviest thing. So now we can do this and test heavy and thing empty, and we can remove this, and then check that the heaviest thing is none. Run that test, and that test is passing as well. Oh, and I'm still on the Twitch chat. And and now that test is passing as well. And what you see here is how ugly this code is. Okay, and it's ugly. It's hard to comprehend. As far as I'm concerned, this is brutal. But now that I have tests, I can know that if I mess up something, then my test will break. Right? All right. So now what I can do is I can do this. And here's how I would write this code in real life. Okay, so what I would do is I would say sorted list equals to sorted, and then this is going to be self.things, and then it's going to be key equals to lambda, and then x is going to be x dot get weight, and what I want reverse. Okay, so now just for the sport, sorted list, let's print this. Reverse I can type, so reverse equals true. And what am I missing? So this is key lambda. Okay, now nice, it's working. So things at instance, cool. So now sorted list, and then what I can do is if len sorted list is 0, I can return none. So now I can remove this and remove this. Otherwise, what I can return is the first item in sorted list. Run the test, and the test pass. Okay, so first you can see how much better this code is, right? I am sorting the list. I don't need to take care of no nuns. And nuns, None, not NUN. And I sort the list. So now I don't need to loop, 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 whatever. I sort the list, and I can actually make that code even shorter, and use the sort in place. So what this does, it composes a new list from the original list. So sorted list does not touch self.things. And this is actually intentional because if you would do, and you would be tempted, if you would do self.sorted list self.things sort, and then you do the key lambda here, what would happen is that by calling heaviest thing, you are mutating your class, and you don't want to do that. Okay. So acidic mushroom is saying that sorting is O of n time complexity. So 100% agreed. And what happened is that. So I want to explain that. I want to explain that comment because I think a lot of people don't really realize that. So when you do a loop, like I've done before. So let's go back to the loop. So let's copy this code and get back to our loop. All right. So this is our loop. Let's see our test. Our test will pass. Cool. So what we do here is we make sure that we go through our list once. When I do sort, so when I do this, so just this line, as harmless as it may seem, okay, as harmless as this line may seem, it actually is O of n complexity, like acidic mushroom smartly mentioned. What that means is that the sorting algorithm basically goes through the item. Okay, so let's say it goes through the first item, then it goes through the second item. It says, is the second item bigger than the first item? If it is, it switches places and goes back. So then it does that again, right? So 1, 2, and then 3. Is 3 here? Should 3 be here, or should I mutate? And then it goes to 4, and then it goes to 5, then it goes to 6, and then it goes to 7, and every time it basically goes through that. So as harmless as this line may be, may seem, it is actually quite harmful. And now we have 2 things and whatever, but when you're talking about millions, or when you're talking about thousands or whatever, and some poor user is waiting on the thread, to vacate in order to continue with his life, then you can make a lot of users miserable by writing a lot of code like that. So what I've done is I went back to the for loop, and I have the test. But what I showed before is that how easily I can maintain the integrity of my program, even though the internal implementation may change. So as long as I have the test, I can change the internal implementation without worrying that something may break, because I have tests to cover that. All right, cool. So now we are a suitcase and we have the heaviest thing. And now, will you post this code somewhere? So acidic mushroom is asking, will you post this code somewhere? And I wonder, why do we still need to ask those questions? Because I'm open source by heart. So let's do that now. I don't know. Let's do this. Public. Let's do git ignore for Python, and let's add a license. Let's add MIT because that's how I roll. Right. So then create repository, and let's do this. And do I have git here? Yes. So cd here. CD Helsinki course MV 4.1 to here, and then RM-RF 4.1. And then no here, git remote add here, and git remote add origin here, and git pull origin master, and then git st git adds. Let's add all of these. Git commit -m, some initial commits, and then this, and then git push origin master -u. And there it is. Refresh. And here you are. And I'm posting that in the chat room. Okay. So now we can go back and go through the container. Okay. So people on Twitch here and people on Live EDU here. If you have questions or comments, please post them. I am doing this for you. And one more thing that I want to mention is if you go to avi.io/stream, and it's on the bottom here. There is the stream info. And in the stream info, there is a community called Discord here, which is a chat. And let me open up Discord here. And no one is online. No one likes me. But basically, if you join this chat here through Discord, then you can discuss those things. So we can discuss those things on Discord. So again, if you go and you do avi.io/stream, what that will do is it will take you to this page, and on this page there is the chat community. You click that and you go to Discord, and then Discord here, you join the community Fullstack network, and we can chat. And the good thing is with this chat is that even though we are when I'm not in the stream, I can watch that chat and help people and kind of maintain that community and the sense of community here. Cool. So now we need the container. So container, let's say what container. So suitcase. All right. So class container, which constructor which give it the maximum weight limit. Add suitcase, which adds the suitcase as a parameter to the container. And then we have a string. All right. So then we have 2 suitcases and 7 kilograms. So basically the same thing. So now this is where kind of Python shines, and you can do it with Java, but definitely not the same nice way you can do it with Python. But here's the deal. So all right, so you know what, let's do it simply, and then I will show you how I drive that change using some nifty TDD. All right, so now here we are going to have what is it? Container. Oh, wait a second. I need to close Vim here because there is no 4.1 anymore. All right, so now there's no 4.1. Good thing I noticed that. So container.py, and this is going to be a class called container. And what does it have? It has a max weight. And then this is going to be self.max weight equals to max weight. This code is boring, but what can you do? All right, so now we'll do here. We'll do def add suitcase, and then suitcase, and here we'll have self.suitcases equals to this, and then here. Right, so now add suitcase, and then the same thing basically. So now comes the fun part. So first let's Python-m unit test discover. All of our tests pass. Cool. So now what I want to go is, and try to stay with me. I'm trying to do it as slow as possible, but sometimes I can get ahead of myself. So I will go to thing here, or not thing. I'll go to suitcase, and what I want here, okay, is this method, and I will take this method and I will call it word extractor. Oh my goodness. Right, so then this is class, I don't know, this is not really a class. I don't know, word extractor. All right, Python. Okay, so then word extractor, and then this will have get things word, and then this will have singular, plural, and then things count, and then this will be dot format singular. This will be plural. All right. So now here, word, instead of being self.word, this is going to be import get things word from word extractor, or actually it's from word extractor import get things word. This is what happens when you write Python and Go together. So then this is going to be get things word, and it's going to be thing, things, and total things. Run the test. Test fail. So get things word. Let's see. So get things word, and this is obviously, so from word extractor import word extractor, and then this is word extractor dot get. Okay, so now this does not need self, so we can remove this. And unbound method get things word must be called with word extractor instance as first argument. No, but this is I don't want to be no just 1 second. I'm gonna show your chat message. So the thing is that this function is unbound. Okay, so this should be here. Okay, unbound method get things word must be called with word extractor instance, but I don't want a word extractor instance. Just 1 second. So get things count. Now I'm like getting ahead of myself. So just a sec. So word extractor get things word, and this is a part of word extractor. Must be called with word extractor instance as first argument. No, I don't want that. All right, so let's add sugar. All right, and now our test passed. This is a static method. Acidic Mushroom here asked a question, and he said, in your add things method, don't you need to check if the sum of things weight and total weight exceeds the max weight? So I haven't got to that point in the course yet. So I know that there is some constraint like that, but I haven't seen that yet. And so I think, yeah. So I think this is, so class suitcase. So the class suitcase has to make sure that things weight does not cause the total weight to exceed. So yeah, we're not there yet. Okay. So we're not there yet. So there it is. We're still not here, but we're gonna be here in a minute. So, but you know what? We can do that now. So in suitcase, we're going to say add things. So we're going to add another test here. Test add things over limit. So we're going to say a thing with some name weighs 10. And then this is going to be, again, T1, and this is going to be T2. So this weighs 80, and this weighs 21. But a suitcase can only have 100. So then we're going to add T1 and T2 and assert that equals one thing of 80 kilograms to string. So this test should fail because we got two things with 101 kilograms. And if we go to suitcase.py and go to add thing, then what we see is that it adds it with no conditionals. And what we can do here is if self dot total weight plus thing dot get weight is bigger than self dot max weight, then return. All right, we don't want to do anything, we just return. So run that, right? So this, if self dot, what am I missing? Oh, self thing dot, oh yes. So get weight and 9 test, one thing, 80 kilograms. one thing's 80 kilograms. All right. So now here, total things. So now our toString, okay, so this is my test actually. So this is one thing. So this was the test and not the code. So now 9 and acidic mushroom, we have now implemented that as well. All right. So now here and this one, git st, git add, git commit, more code, more learning. I am getting good at this. All right. So push this to master. And again, this is the repository, so feel free to fork and do whatever you want. All right, so where were we? So we had the suitcase, we had this, and then we have the suitcase print. I don't care about the print, and then the heaviest. We have the heaviest, and now the container. All right, so cool. And now, aha. What we can do is, so we need to do basically the same thing, but for container. And it messes me up that I need to do it over and over again. So here's what we're going to do before we even continue here. So we are going to add a weight checker or weight check .py, and this is going to be weight check, and this is going to have so check weight or check valid add, I don't know, something like that, and then container, and then a thing. All right, and this will return true by default. And where are we? So suitcase.py. Oh man, sorry. Sorry. I forgot. So now I'm on the right window. So what I said was, I'm sorry. Good thing you were watching. So what I said was that this check, it needs to be in suitcase and in container, just the same. So what I'm doing is I'm extracting it out. So then this is here. So self. This is not self, but this is container dot total weight plus thing dot get weight. It is bigger than container dot max weight. Then here we return false. So now here in suitcase, what we're doing is, and we're going to have that class inherit, but for now we're just going to add a method here. So this is going to be get weight. Oh, sorry, this is total weight. So total weight, and this is going to return self dot total weight, and then total weight replace with max weight. Okay, so now instead of doing that, what we can do is we can from wait check import wait check, and this should be wait check, and then here we say if wait check dot check valid add, and then self, and then thing. So here we can actually do this. Okay? So let's run our tests. And they fail. And this is again sugar, so let's go to wait check and static method. And our tests still pass. All right, so what you see now is that our wait check is now one method, and we can have that same method in container. And now the suitcase and container are actually a container, right? So they both are literally the same class. So they have total weight, and they have a max weight, and they have things. So for suitcases, the things are actual thing classes, but for container, the things are suitcases. But still, as long as they have the same methods, and as long as they expose the same interface, then I don't care, right? I don't care. The code doesn't care as well. So now here, what we do, right, so I'm gonna switch to Twitch, and Twitch here. All right, so Twitch and acidic mushrooms is saying you can reduce check valid add into one liner. So check valid wait check, and then this is, and this is, so what you'll see is you can do this return and then remove this, right? And so here you can actually argue whether this code is better or this code is better. They literally do the same thing. And actually I think they do the reverse thing. So so return, and then this should return this. Right, so then here, and now the container, no, it's suitcase. So instead of doing this, this is going to be return, and then here. Now the tests pass. Okay. And then it's invalid add. Wait check, and then here it's invalid. Cool. Oh man, I forgot to switch to programming again. So I reduced this line to I reduced this code to one liner. And now I change it to check invalid add, and here I check if it's invalid add, and I return, and Python tests are still golden. All right, so now we'll go to container.py, and let's start implementing our code. All right, so container has the same thing. It adds a suitcase and it adds a thing, and then we need to make sure that, so here's the deal. So now we're going to do def add suitcase, and then this is going to have suitcase here, and here it's literally the same code. So here and So acidic mushroom, and I'll try to answer your question, and then also remember to go back to coding. So I could negate the function, but I think it's more useful to actually check whether it's invalid rather than check if it's valid, because the valid is explicit. The valid is implicit and the invalid is explicit, in a way that if it's invalid, then it returns the function. I don't need to wrap the function, wrap the main part of the function in the check. What I do is I wrap the invalid in the check, and then the rest is implied. So I just like that code better, but I could negate the function and I could replace the condition. I could have done a bunch of things. So it's not that I didn't know how to do it. It's like I deliberately thought about whether to check invalid. So here's the deal, right? So if this is check valid, then what you do here is you wrap this code, and then if not, then it's a no op. What I like more is to say, okay, so if this happens, return. If this happens, return. If this happens, return. If all of these are, all of these checks pass, this part is implied. So this is the normal behavior of the function. The rest is check, 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 and basically slap it around. So you're not good. You're not good. You're not good. You're not good. Oh, you're good. Okay, so you go through the same path, right? So this is how I kind of like to think about those checks and the rest. All right, so now add suitcase, and again, this is jarhead code. So what I would do here is I would definitely check that differently. But now this is suitcase, so now suitcase and then return, and total weight is thing.getWeight, and then this is not thing, this is suitcase. And you can already see that I'm going through this process of refactoring that class around. So now we add the suitcases and we have the print. So we can grab the toString here, and now you can see that the toString method is literally the same thing, but instead of thing, this is suitcase, and instead of things, this is suitcases, and self.total things. So everything here is literally the same. So now you can actually see that container is the parent class, and suitcase is actually just a container. So this would be, I don't know, this would be like this would be I don't know, like a base container, although I hate calling method containers base, classes base. All right, so now our test pass, and we are going to say test container .py, and let's go to here to test suitcase, and then here let's just remove a bunch of code. And suitcase is going to be container now. Let's remove this. So from suitcase, import suitcase, and from container, import container. And we don't need thing here. So this is test container. Test add. So this is add suitcase, right? So test suitcase, we don't need this. So s dot, oh, we actually need thing. So from thing, import thing, I don't know, something like that, right? So this thing and suitcase and add things t, and then c equals to container with 100 and c dot add suitcase, and we're gonna add s, and assert equal one suitcase with how much does it should weigh? It should weigh 10 kilograms. All right, so now this, and we run this, and it failed. No module name container. And obviously, so this is container. And now, did I just do it again? No, I just didn't save the code. All right, so wait check is not defined. So in container, so from wait check import wait check, and then here suitcase instance has no attribute get wait. So let's go to suitcase and total weight. So this should have a get weight as well, just because it needs to expose the same interface to the weight check. So one suitcase and one thing. So let's do this and test container. So instead of doing this, this should be C because I'm testing the container. And word extractor is not defined. So now we'll go to the container and we'll do from word extractor, import word extractor. All right, and Python test are passing. All right, so now our suitcases are working as well, and they expose the same interface. So because they expose the same interface, now I'm not testing the interface, I'm testing one of the implementation of the interface, which is basically I'm only testing weight check through a suitcase, and I'm not testing weight check through weight check. And that's all right for now, but in real life, that's not what I would do. So all right, so let's do that. And we are now here. So now we have the container and then container contents, print things. I don't like printing things. I don't care. Okay, so now, and this is the last one. So let's check our container works, and you can still not exceed the maximum weight limit in the main class. Create the method public static void 8 suitcases full of bricks, and then adds 100 suitcases into the container. It receives as a parameter. There is one brick in each suitcase. The brick weight will then increase by 1 each time until the weight limit becomes 100. All right, so this is where the guy I was watching earlier basically banged his head against the wall. And this is where my thought process here. So if you haven't watched this far, watch now, because this is where this thought process and TDD will shine every single time. Every single time. All right. So we do this, and now let's talk about the problem. Right? So we have bricks, and we have suitcases, and we have containers. And a brick is just a thing. All right? So let's check that our container works fine, and we can still not exceed the maximum weight limit. In the main class, create the method public static void add suitcase full of bricks. You know, this doesn't matter. Just add the method. All right? And then which adds 100 suitcases into the container. It receives the parameter. All right? There is one brick each suitcase. The brick's weight will then increase 1 each time until the weight becomes 100 kilograms. All right, so first, what I would do is I would say, okay, so now I need to add 100, which add 100 suitcases, and then every time there's a brick, I'm going to add 100. All right, so first things first, I would do all of this in some sort of class. So let's add brick container, I don't know, brick container dot py, and then this is going to be brick container, just so I can, you know, wrap this in a class that I can test. So then this is this, and it's going to be this. We don't even need this. Okay, so now we are going to so we are going to do def add stuff. Man, I don't know. Okay. So now what we do is and I'm not gonna, you know, be fancy here with Python. I'm gonna do this as simply as possible. Okay. So let's see what we do here. So which adds 100 suitcases. Each container receives a parameter. There is one brick in each suitcase. The brick weight increases until it reaches the weight becomes 100. All right, so now we have this sort of brick. So def get next brick, and then this is going to be this here, and then this one we're going to add an init. So here, all right, so name, weight, and then brick weight, and then overall weight or max container weight. So this is brick weight, and this is going to be, let me focus on that here. So this is going to be brick weight, and then here instead of brick weight, this is going to be total or max container. All right, so then next brick, and then this is going to be from thing import thing. Okay, and then this would be brick equals thing brick, and then brick weight, and then brick weight plus equals 1. All right, and then brick so then if brick weight is smaller than 100, then brick weight equals 1. Otherwise, always return 100. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this specific method. All right, so now let's add a test for test brick container.py, and then here test thing here, and then from brick container import brick container, and then this is going to be test brick container and test get next brick. All right, so then this is brick container equals brick container, and brick weight, the initial brick weight is 1, and the initial container weight is 1000. So then we're going to assert equal that 1 equals to BC dot next brick. Oh, get next brick. Get next brick dot what is it? Get weight. All right, let's run our test. All right, and our test failed, and it's obvious why. So let's fix it. So this is brick weight. So this is self dot brick weight, and here it's self dot brick weight here, and self dot brick weight. None type has no attribute. Oh, damn it! So in this return brick. All right, so now our test pass. And what we want is here, test get next brick in loop. All right. So now what I want to do is for I in range, let's do 250. Then we're going to say that brick equals to BC dot get next brick. And then after we loop 250 times, then the final weight of the brick should still be 100, and it is, and our test passed. So now we know that every time you run get next brick, we're going to get the next brick with the correct weight, and it's never going to overrun 100. So now this is good. So now we add 100 suitcases into the container. It receives as parameter. And this should actually be, so now we're going to have a self dot container equals container and max max container weight. And here now we need to add 100 suitcases. So let's do self. So first let's do self dot, so def get container, and this will return self container. Okay, so now we'll do def add suitcases. Okay, so we're going to add suitcases here. So then what we'll do is for I in range 100, and I think it should be 99, but we'll see. And then what we're doing is for every time we have a suitcase, so a suitcase is suitcase with 100 as the max weight, and then a brick equals to get next brick, and then a thing, oh actually brick, so suitcase dot add thing, which is a brick. So we add the brick into the suitcase. All right. And then we add the suitcase into the container. So self dot container equals to self dot container dot add suitcase, and we're going to add the suitcase. So first let's see that our tests still pass, and they don't. So return is obviously misspelled, and container, so this thing and container, and then this is C. So now this, and our test pass. Cool. And then for this, add suitcases. Cool. So what we want to make sure here is that our container is still getting 44 suitcases with 990 kilograms. So what we can do here is go to our container, brick container test here. And we have a new brick container with one, what is one? Okay, 1 in 1,000. And then we'll do BC dot get, add suitcases. And then we can print the BC dot get container dot to string, so we can see what we have here. All right, so get next brick is not defined, and obviously, so this is self dot get next brick, always the same mistake. And then suitcase, so we need suitcase, and then here suitcase. Python, where are we? Add suitcases. So container, so this is brick container. Add suitcases. What am I missing? Oh, so this is add suitcase. Okay, so where are we now? Add suitcases, container instance, add. Oh, okay. So now I'm just being stupid again. So this is add suitcase. And then here it's misspelled again. My goodness. Okay, 44 suitcases, 990 kilograms, which is what we want. Okay. So as you can see, and I can obviously say that this is here, and we can take that 44 suitcases. VI. All right, so let's do this. Here, bc dot get next brick get weight, and this is bc dot get container dot to string. And what am I missing here? 44 suitcases, 990 kilograms is different than 40. This is the exact same string. $44 suitcases. Oh, oh my God. So this is suitcases. Right. So, and where are we? So container. And this is suitcases. What am I missing here? This is literally my spelling being stupid again. So 44 suitcases container. Let's see. So assert equal 44 suitcases 990. So 44 suitcases 990. Oh, okay. Oh my god. Okay, so this is this. It's a space. All right. So now the test path. And as you can see, even though you do TDD, still sometimes you're still stupid. All right. So this is this, and git commit -m brick container and suitcase says. All right. So this was great. I thought it's gonna be fun, and it definitely was. And yeah. Does anybody have questions in the stream about the process, about the tools, about Python, about like how I do those stuff? Like, feel free to ask those questions. And now this is our code, and we've test driven everything. It took about 2 hours. So pretty nice. So if anybody has questions, this is the time. This was definitely a great experience, and I had a lot of fun. If not, then again, jump to Discord. It's avi.il/stream. And here on this link, you can find the Discord. So feel free to jump in there and join the chat here. This will work offline as well. I mean, offline in terms of like when I'm not streaming. And yeah, so check out the blog and the streams and everything. Make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, follow on Twitter, and so on and so forth. And I will probably see you tomorrow. So have a good night. See ya.